Okay, Google, stop. Are we live?
Look at that.
Oh, now we all back. All right, I got it.
And oh boy, hi.
Hey guys,
Hey, Dave, what's going on?
21 and a half hours, I'm still standing.
Well, there you go. I'm still standing. All right, no, I'm not going to sing anymore. I don't want to get copyright strike.
What's up, Dash?
How you doing this evening? How's everybody?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
What's up with you, man? Oh man, what's Lep drinking? That's a Corona bottle.
Oh,
I
wait,
ran out of
everybody's
Mickey's.
taking a shot. Damn it.
Lep, it was so funny. Lep, I was about to say something about Mickey's, and then I saw the bottle, and I'm like, God damn it, that's Corona.
I got empties for you, though.
All right. I respect the fuck out of Mickey's though, like no bullshit, because I haven't drunk Mickey's in a long, long time. But one thing the Lep is good for is drinking freaking Mickey's.
Yeah.
Not gonna give him any grief about it.
I should do that one challenge where they tape the 40 ounces.
Yeah, both two to each hand.
Edward 40 hands.
Edward 40 hands, yeah.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I can too. I have a gallon, like a gallon portable keg. My wife got me for Christmas, and I've taken it down. Like I want to do it for a live stream, but the problem is my live streams happen on Wednesday nights, and I'm like, do I really want to be that drunk? Because I gotta go to like a local spot and get some beer.
Do a pop-up Saturday or something one of these times, man. Your fans would love that,
I know, and that does happen from time to time. But I want to say the problem is I usually can't sit still for like as long as I want to live stream.
We got a new
I'm
guy.
hungry. Hello, Clara. Hello. Jason, I talked to you already. Yeah.
So, guys, I have a serious question now. Last week we
Yes.
talked, and I mentioned that I'm going to try to start doing my own cooking show. So I started investigating what equipment should I be using to video it. I'm looking at the GoPro Silver with a full package from Amazon for $250.
What number of GoPro?
He said 7.
Oh,
7
7. That's the one I got. I got the one I got is 7. This was like 200. This is like $300. No, 200 or 300 at Best Buy. So that's not a bad deal. You can fuck with
At
these.
Best Buy they had just the GoPro 7 Chrome for $258. I went on Amazon, looked it up. The GoPro with the 25-pack accessory and the 128 gig memory card for $252.
Hey, Dave,
So-
let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah,
Do you have a smartphone?
yeah, but it's smarter than me.
Well, there you go. That's perfect.
It's it's a pay as you go. It cost me about $20 a month.
But that's fine.
So
It
they don't
records
charge you for
video.
using video on your phone, and I'll second that recommendation to use your phone, which is something you already have, as opposed to purchasing something you need. But the only problem with using your phone, the better camera is on the back where you can't see.
Yeah.
And so this is my solution to that. I actually use Sony point and shoot cameras. Okay. And this is my older one. All right. This camera is about $300. The model on this camera is a DSC. So Delta Sierra Charlie HX Hotel X-Ray 99. And this camera shoots in 4K as well. Okay.
DSE.
No, DSC, Delta Sierra Charlie.
Oh, C,
All right.
Charlie.
Yeah. HX Hotel X-Ray 99.
So
What's
what
up,
do I
Rumpus?
think about-
L99. Got it.
Yes. And it's
I'm
a
taking
Sony.
notes.
I understand. I saw you right, and that's why I went back and said it again. So it's a Sony point and shoot camera, and the beauty is it everything is here. Okay. So it pops out, and then the screen flips up. So I can look at myself when I'm doing something.
I don't
and
want
let's-
to do that.
No. You do
That's
want to
a
do
scary
that.
thought.
No. You do want to do that because the whole thing is, if you can see what you're doing, you will be more natural. But like some of the cameras have the flip out to the side, and when you do that, it makes it like you're looking this way and you're looking at the screen. But when you have one that's right over top, you're looking like in line with the camera, and it makes it look better. So yeah, but the GoPros are a decent option. The whole thing is there's a learning curve with the GoPro and kind of figuring out where you have to look and where you have to be.
I'm
And the
thinking
audio,
that the GoPro
and
would
the
be
audio
entry
isn't
level.
the greatest. on
Yes,
the
and
GoPro.
the audio on the GoPro is the stabilization and the picture is okay on a GoPro, but the audio is lacking for sure.
I'm pretty loud, so I'll keep it closer to me.
It
You
sounds
think-
like you're in a shoebox. It sounds
Yeah,
like this.
it's echoey.
Yeah. Dave, what I would do is start with your smartphone, and as soon as your
Yep.
channel makes money, use the money from the channel to buy some kind of fancy camera.
That's
Rob, you've
that's
got
kinda
some
like
nice
what I was
microphones,
thinking.
right?
What's that?
Rob has a nice pin mic that's not too expensive.
Yeah, and that plugs right into your. I mean, all I use is my phone, my work phone, and
You use your work phone to do it?
yeah.
So, Rob, just to make it official, Rob, Lap, Joey, and a couple of the others, I apologize for last week. After watching the full hot seat and then joining you in the live aftermath, I was on my 5th glass of rum and I had a little bit of a CBD gummy in me, so I
Oh, no
apologize.
worries.
Falling asleep while live.
It happens.
That's never
we-
happened before.
Like I said,
actually.
I've been there. I don't know if
It happens.
Grumpus has been a party to it, but Grumpus is on my live streams pretty regularly, and there are times when I'm just like,
I have some fond memories.
yeah, I can imagine.
So
It
I won't
happens
be
once a
long
week,
on
Dave.
tonight. I won't be long on tonight. I've been up since 2:30 yesterday morning.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Damn.
so I don't have to go into my volunteer work until 10 a.m. So hopefully I can get at least a solid 6 hours in.
So, Dave, where do you live? I'm guessing somewhere in the Northeast.
Yes, I'm in Western Massachusetts.
Okay.
I'm
Western Mass, like where? What is?
just outside of Springfield, Mass.
Okay. All right. So I'm pretty familiar with Massachusetts. I go to the Cape like once a year, but
All
I've
right.
been as far west as
Don't say Worcester.
Worcester.
Don't say Worcester.
Worcester. Yeah.
How about this
A
one,
lot
Dave?
of people think that Massachusetts started in Boston to Worcester. They forget from Worcester to the other
No.
end.
I already know that Worcester is not the end all be all. Like I said, I'm pretty good at geography. But I know that so my wife was up there and we had to go to Natick, or she went to Natick. All right. And so she was there for Natick for work. And I found I went to Holy Cannoli in Worcester.
Oh, good God.
What? Is Holy Cannoli bad? Do you think Holy Cannoli is bad?
Oh, come on. There's a lot of better places.
Well, look, man, I saw it on TV or on the internet, and I went to Holy Cannoli, and it was good enough for me. All right.
All right. I give this to you.
Yes.
You come back up to Massachusetts.
Yes.
You contact me,
Yes.
and I will cook for you.
Okay. Well,
Cannolis?
I'm up there. Like I said, I'm
That's
up
not
there.
a threat. That's a guarantee.
I hear
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm up there. Well, when I'm up there in Massachusetts, it's usually I'm driving through, okay, or I'm on my way to the Cape. So
So
it's not
as you
like
come up 91 North,
yeah,
I know you're going to come up 91 North. That's the easiest way.
I have to.
Yeah. And then let's see. That comes out at exit 4. You call me, and you're only 10 minutes away from my house.
Okay.
So it's a given. I will cook for you.
Okay. Well,
I have a Oklahoma Joe offset smoker, and I
Okay.
also have the Blackstone 36-inch flat top.
Oh, both of those are very good.
Blackstone
look at
is-
left. Look at left. Blackstone. Blackstone.
Oh, dude, he's got the cozy.
So I have quite a few videos that I watched that use
That's the next
the
giveaway.
flat tops. But one of my favorites, thank you, Todd Toven, is I do a Hawaiian stir fry with my homemade teriyaki.
That sounds spectacular.
So I
That's what's
started.
up.
I used to cook for 9 people, so it was quantity over quality. Now I'm down to just 4 people. It's quality over quantity.
It's a bit like beer. I would rather have quantity over quality every day. Give me a 30-pack and I'm ready to go, right?
There you
Dog,
go.
I'm right there with you. You know, I get people that give me grief about drinking Miller Lite, but I'm like,
Oh.
I can drink
No,
6 or 8 of these,
No.
and it has the
Yeah.
same amount of sugar than a regular beer.
that's what they do. They Hustlers
Same here.
rum, exactly.
Instead of Captain Morgan, I drink Admiral Nelson. Tastes the same.
Hustlers, Admiral
half the
Nelson,
price.
half the price. Make a couple
Yeah, man.
painkillers right from the bottle.
I'm
So,
not going
Dave, I
there.
actually collected
All right.
a paycheck from the state of
I like
Massachusetts
that, Claire.
for years.
Hey, Claire. Guys, I got a new toy. I got an absolute new toy.
That's what she said.
I have a
Well,
bottle
you're never gonna
5
you're never
feet away
gonna
from
hear
my
it. You'll
bed,
just
which you see
yeah.
behind me. I have a bottle here, and I have on the counter. ice maker.
Yeah, I
8
do too.
cubes an hour.
No,
8
no, no,
cubes
no.
in 9 minutes.
Oh, in 9 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We gotta talk about my ice maker. So I'm actually getting up, going into my kitchen. Because Grumpus has seen my ice maker. This
There
ice
you
maker
go.
right here. This is the Opal.
That was a dot. That was a bullet. I
Yo.
was glad I dodged.
Yo,
Well, that's what
like
I'm
that.
talking about.
All right,
that ice maker right there.
I'm gonna shake up the camera, shake up my cell phone.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to see and raise you and say I got the best ice maker unless you have one of those. Because other than that, there's no ice maker
Alright,
that can
where
touch
am I?
that one.
Can you see the ice maker?
Yeah, man, I see that one.
Wait, is that next to
On
Ties?
the counter ice
Is that in the
maker.
closet next to Ties? That's in the closet next to Ties. That
Come on, the
can't
ice
be.
maker had to make it.
I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a
Hilarious.
miner. I'm a master mason. Occasionally, I have to dress up.
Mm.
But you have an ice maker next to Ties. I feel like that beats Dash regardless. They're next
No,
to
man.
Ties.
The ice maker that I have, it gives you that crushed ice, that hotel ice, the Chick-fil-A ice, the whatever you want to call it, the hospital ice. No, man, I'm telling you, it's better than those mushroom ice pellets that you got there. I'm sorry.
Dash, but
Where
dude's ice is suited up.
You know.
Okay, so it makes these nice little cups here.
There's a
They kinda
guy
look
on
like
Instagram.
I'm sorry, Carla. A nipple
Yeah.
ring.
Yeah. There's a guy on Instagram, or excuse me, on on TikTok actually, who has an ice maker like that, and he puts any and everything into his ice maker to see if it will make ice out of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Like-
strictly water. I dilute my Captain Morgan with ice. That's it.
Okay. Yep. There we
This
go.
is for
Hospital
this
ice
is
is
for
the
Joey
best.
Edibles. How about putting a tincture in an ice cube maker, making ice like tincture ice cubes?
I tried making. Well, I mean, the tinctures they sell at the store is so expensive.
I know they're.
And I tried
fucking
making my
ridiculous.
own with that Everclear, man. It just didn't work out. It was just kind of like weed and Everclear. It didn't really do
Well,
anything.
And that probably won't
Everclear never
freeze at 190 proof.
Yeah. So I have to. I don't know. I'll probably
There you
fuck with
go.
it in the future. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
a couple
We'll
of
see.
drops of those in every ice
There
cube.
you go.
Sure.
There's your tincture.
Right. So you're drinking and
One of
melting
one of
and-
those jars though is like $50. So it's kind of like, and it's like by the time I get home, usually the thing's gone already because I'm such a easy pothead. You know what I mean?
Fuck
So
the
it's like,
dropper. You just drink the goddamn thing like
actually-
it's like a
actually-
5-hour energy. Right.
did I ever tell you that, Jason? I actually did a show like that where I tried to overdose on weed. I took 2 full tincture jars. It was like 500. It was 500 plus 5. It was a whole full gram of the fucking tincture, and
Holy
I didn't feel. I didn't. So, and I looked it up. It was like 100 times the normal dose of weed that you normally get, and I reported back. I was fine. I was fine for the whole show, and then I got up in the morning, and I remember like it was yesterday. I started laughing for like 45 minutes over this picture. It's the first time I laughed in not years, but you know how it is when you smoke weed. After a while, you can't do it. And it was this picture of this girl in a swimsuit that said Corona, and then down by her vag it said virus. I just kept laughing at it. It was so corny. And then after like 45 minutes of nonstop laughing, I just slept for 19 hours and then got up. So that's all I make you do really is just fall asleep. But yeah, it was fun.
Hey Joey, where do you live?
That
I'm
is
in
pretty
Cleveland.
cool.
I'm in Clep.
Oh,
So
okay.
Joey,
Browns
Hey.
fan.
little
That's
story
alright.
about THC. I joined the military in 1980. That's the last time I had any THC. Then I worked for a local utility company, the phone company, for the past 33 years and retired. I'm only 58 when I retired. I haven't had a joint in all that time because of my license. I was under the CDL federal regulations, blah, 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 blah. So the day I retired, I smoked my first joint in over 34 years. I'll tell you what, after 4 hits, I was totally wasted to the point of bed spins and hallucinations. I was fucked.
Oh yeah, I got some stories. Man, some of them are crazy, man. There was just we were going to the Cavs. Oh, there's a spider in the house. What's up, buddy? There was the Cavs. The Cavs were playing the Raptors.
A spider.
No, I can tell you a spider here. Check it out. There's a spider walking on the wall. Look. See
I'm
it?
seeing spiders.
No,
Ew.
That's not a spider. That's like a centipede.
That motherfucker's huge.
It is.
That's a wolf spider, bro. Kill that motherfucker.
no, he's just living his spider life, bro. I'm not. Yeah, we'll go there.
Nah, you don't want to kill it.
Spiders get rid of all the other critters. Save them.
Just
Hey
kill it.
Joey, where's Colin when you need him? Right?
Right? Colin coming here with the fucking giant trap and shit.
Go ahead and puff pass. Help the spider out.
Colin's
Right.
favorite movie is
He's
what is
already
that?
hungry. You don't need no
Arachnophobia.
more.
Go ahead
He's
and
been
help
smoking in that
Charlotte, man.
room all day.
That's Charlotte.
So now to quote Keith, there's a pretty young lovely in the room. Let's hear from her.
Oh God.
Okay,
All
let
right.
All right. Well, my name is Joey Edibles. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I like long walks on the beach, jumps off the pier, and a lot of marijuana. Back to you.
All right.
Oh, you're talking about Carla. My bad, dude. I got a good jawline. I look good. So when people talk about beauty, I just think of myself. Sorry about that.
I heard a lot about your jawline off of Lep's St. Patrick's Day thing. I ain't all the way through that yet. I haven't got to the face painting yet. I can't wait for that one.
Oh God.
Yeah, I would wait for that one. That's so hard. Oh my God, you guys have me cracking
Dash, I'd let Hobo spray paint my face.
that was the best. That was absolutely the best. Those nose plugs should be in the Smithsonian.
It was supposed to be just a beard, but it ended up right here and up in here in my ears.
Look, I'm hungry. Look, it's so funny. You said it. I was thinking the same thing when he was like, I joined the military in 1980. I was like, I was born in 1980.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ruin his story. So,
He's got too much gray hair to only be, what is that, 40 years old?
You can't count. Yeah, 40.
It's hard to count this late at night.
No, that's 40, brother. That's 40.
Look,
You were born in 1980?
yeah.
Blondes?
I know you're sitting there
Guys, I
like,
got underwear older than you.
Yeah. So let's see. I think
that's
unless
a damn young Santa Claus.
Jason, how old are you, sir?
I'm 42.
Oh my God, I'm the youngest one here. I bet. Unless Joey.
I'm
No, I'm
36.
40.
How old, Carl?
Carla's the youngest.
36.
Okay.
No, I
Okay. Carla, sorry,
Lap, how old
you're
are
a
you?
baby. I'm 40.
I'm 46.
Oh, there goes Hobo.
Grandpa, come on, be older than me.
Oh, shit. I got jeans older than that.
I'm about to say Grumpus is older. Grumpus, you and Grumpus might have to fight it out.
I got blue jeans older than that.
Come on, Grandpa. How old?
Wranglers.
67.
Okay, you got me beat. I'll turn 60 at the
I'm
end
not
of the
proud
year.
of that.
I hope to turn 67.
Brother,
I'm
you
serious.
look like
That's amazing. That's
no,
amazing.
older than
Well, I'm
50.
not the oldest, thank God.
Grumpus don't look older than 50 though. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's a
It's
healthy
the Hawaiian
man. You know?
shirts. It's the Hawaiian shirts that keep
Is
him
that
young.
what it is?
Yeah.
All that good barbecue I eat.
Oh,
It's the Ryan Kurtz in that gaming chair.
If I pulled out the photo of me when I let my beard go for 4 months, you'd think I was Santa. It's pure white like Grandpa's.
Hey, if you've ever seen
Wow.
that movie Bad Santa, that chick in
Yeah.
that movie wasn't bad. That could be you in a couple months, Dave. In that car,
No, that requires physical.
kind of looks like
thirst.
him too.
a physical thirst. I love it.
I'm
Physical
hungry.
exertion.
Oh.
I haven't ran since I left the military, and I ain't about to start now.
Hey, you're running your mouth. I'm just teasing.
I've never seen anybody smile while they were running, so that's out of the question.
No, if they're running from the bank that they just robbed and they're getting away, then they're smiling,
Yes.
right?
Like in the Dark Knight, man, with that school bus. Hell yeah.
Oh man, that was a great man.
That was fucking awesome, dude. When
That
they
was
pull off the
fucking
school bus,
awesome.
it goes right into traffic, blends in like it's nothing. Like nobody's
Dude,
getting
that
noticed. All the dust and coming off the school bus and the giant sacks of money in the back of it.
Fucking
Great
love
movie.
that
yeah.
movie.
How many veterans do we have here?
Me and you, I think. And I'm not sure about the rest
Not
of them.
me, unfortunately, not me.
Holy
I'm
crap.
flat-footed.
I was always too fat.
Yeah, but you could have gotten away with that hair shine.
I hear you.
Oh,
I could have been, but then I got high.
but then I got high.
I was gonna read.
First or second time lap.
You know, in Rob's last video, he was doing a little crisscross. You make me wanna, with his beer,
Yeah.
right? That was pretty good.
Jump.
Jump,
What
jump.
up, Chris?
Where'd
It's-
Hungry go?
It's easier to flip this when you got a beer in your hand, right?
He's still here. He must have just put his phone down.
No, I got a
No,
brisket
he's
in the store,
unmuted.
I got a spray.
Probably gone for another drink.
Who's that? Oh,
What's
I'm
this?
hungry.
He-
Brisket.
He said he's spraying his brisket.
So, Dave, I
Okay.
collected a paycheck from the state of Massachusetts, company in the state of Massachusetts for 7 years.
Cool.
Maybe you heard of them called EMC.
No, I
Oh,
can't say I have.
They're out
It's
of
a
Franklin.
technology company,
They're out of
right?
Franklin. Yeah, out of Franklin, Massachusetts,
Oh, that's up north. North of me.
north of you.
That's northwestern Mass.
I've never been, but the paychecks came in. It was fine.
That's cool. So I figured out my name for the YouTube channel when I decide or break down and buy a camera. It's going to be Cooking with Dave.
There you go. Perfect.
Makes sense because your name's Dave.
Yeah.
Oh,
His
really?
name's Dave?
I mean,
What?
if it was like cooking
What
with
a
Charlie,
coincidence.
or cooking with like,
You could do something like the CDC, right? Cooking Dave's channel, CDC. And everybody's like, oh, I got to go to the CDC for more information. And then you get like 1 million subscribers and
And unlike some of you, and like some of you, I will be cooking outside as well as inside.
I do both as well.
I mean,
But
during the winter
I-
months, I'm doing stuff like my stuffed zucchini. I'm doing my layered enchilada casserole, which is all oven stuff. But I also want to do some stuffed meat rolls, which is called
Carries many
roll
scars.
on the griddle instead of inside. It's it'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, when's this
I do
going to happen?
stuffed zucchini as well, but usually I do it in the summer when we grow zucchini.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and that's going to be like the end of July
September?
towards
Okay.
August when they
All right.
mature enough. You got to pull all the seeds out. So.
Joey's dying. Joe, you okay?
I'm all right. I call a lot.
Hey Joey,
Coughing up a lung there.
He just
Damn, dude.
What's
We've
up
only
now?
been live 35 minutes and he's already smoked 3 blunts.
Dave, what do you drink?
I was gonna smoke a blunt, but then I got high. Then I just kept smoking the blunt, and then I got high. Oh, for those of you who are wondering what the selection is today, it's a lime sherbet from the the Buckeye Relief Cannabis Company. I don't know where they're in. They're somewhere in Ohio, but it's a nice strain. It's a indica, maybe sativa. I don't fucking know at this point. Whatever, it's weed.
It was just a
Joey,
rainbow.
this is for you. It's 50-50 mix, cannabis and tobacco. Smooth, clean, and easy.
That's the way I like them. Big titties and smooth, cheap, and easy.
I knew her.
Yeah, Joey always waits for the, at the club they're like, go get your dance now. It's a 2 for 3, right? You
Yeah.
get the girl, right? They're all
Next on the main stage, we have $1 lap dances for the next 5 minutes.
exactly.
I got $180 right now. I want all them hoes.
And then they get Joey on the main stage, and each one of them parade around him, right? And he's like,
So, how many of you have channels?
what's that, Dave?
How many
How
of
many?
you have channels? I know Rob, Laugh, Joey,
I think everybody does, bro. Except
channel.
Jason.
Ash.
Yeah, everybody does.
Hungry. I don't know Jason and Carla or Grandpa's.
Carla
I
has
got a
a
channel.
channel. It's about nail polish
Yeah, there's some cooking on there too, so be quiet.
and roses
I have no roses on there.
and Outcast song reviews. Last week was she loves Outcast. What can I say, man? From Atlanta. Outcast is such a good band. Dude. I love Outcast.
Yes, indeed. We're gonna go old school. We're not talking about the new stuff. Man.
So that
And
the Cadillac Funky Music is a fucking phenomenal tape, dude. I love that. All the players came from far away. That's such a fucking banger, man. I love that fucking song, dude. Hell yeah.
Yes, so Dave, you gotta check out Grumpus. You gotta check out I'm Hungry. You gotta check out Carla. And Jason's
And
got to
me
start a
too.
channel.
There's a couple of channels I watched that you haven't mentioned, and now I'm having a brain fart coming up with their names. Cook and Repeat is one of them. It's all Blackstone. If you go to Todd Coven or Betty Blackstone, I'm sure you'll come up with these two guys. They're hilarious. One does a lot of cooking with movie and song quotes. The other one is Chef Nate.
Nate and CJ.
Oh yeah.
No. Yes, Nate and CJ. That's it.
Is that never trust a skinny
Hey,
chef,
if-
CJ?
If you would have watched today's stuff, they introduced a new lady to the team.
I missed that.
The griddle lady or something like that, or something on that.
Betty
On that line.
Blackstone.
No,
Oh,
no.
no. The blonde.
Yes.
Yes, I saw
Yes.
her.
Yes.
They should have a chick cooking show called Titty Griddle. I would watch that shit right now. Swear to God.
They got to be dressed better than Hooters.
Titty Griddle with Heather McBoob. Up next, we're doing chicken breasts.
Oh, we need Morgana in that.
Yeah, you got to update your titty references. Morgana's a solid hot chick, but we got to get back into the 90s. We're not even in the 80s yet if we're talking Morgana. We got to get to the 80s first. Don't go to the 90s. You
All
get
right,
chick-
so wait, I was
we were talking
married
about
for 30
Outcast.
years, and I'm almost 60.
You dropped the Morgana, the Kiss and Bandit reference. That's some old school pop right there. I love it. I love it, man. Morgana, the Kissing Bandit, going down on the Philly Fanatic. I think that's what she did. That's what she was rumored. I don't know. That's just
Hey,
rumored.
She did it in Boston, too.
Well, I thought it'd be a great idea to get more cleavage on my channel, but the wife said I have to leave my shirt on.
All right,
Nobody likes
totally
the
out.
chest hair.
I show my nipples all summer long.
Yeah,
That's not a sight I
Last time
want to see.
Hey, but
Last time I made a video.
my fans look past it and they still watch my cooking, so it's cool. They know
That's because you have
I got a
nude
nickname,
people in your thing.
pepperoni nipples. So
So, Carla, are you going to be in on this?
What?
The Man Show.
Titty Griddle.
I'm not getting on no titty
Mm.
griddle.
she ain't joining that team.
Kill me.
Joe Everett is already
Whoa.
going to get the URL for fucking Titty Griddle. I like it.
Whoa. Hey, thank you, Jason's assistant.
Man, I'm hungry.
That's
Looks like he's
what's
about to fuck us up running from that angle.
We
Looks
have
like he's
hired,
about to fucking stomp her face in his shit.
we have hired help. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Let's
Jason,
see.
welcome aboard.
Can I order one of those?
Yeah, doesn't this look nice? Look at this. Doesn't this look nice? It's in its own glass and everything.
Where's
That's not
that
what's in
video?
there.
That's sophisticated, bro. That's classy and shit. Like
I
fucking
know.
Picasso, Tanqueray and shit like that.
Eyebrow to this.
Shit where they it comes in a glass bottle and they use cursive on the
Eyebrow.
label, not just printed. You know what I mean? It's been
Look,
cursive.
look.
If it's
I
been
got one
cursive,
of those
it's fancy.
right
Yeah,
here.
that's a Blanton's bottle. Yeah, well, I'm calling out Dash. I'm going to call
See,
out
look at that.
Dash.
It's
right?
fancy
He's
'cause it's
yawned
been-
twice, so he's got to take 2 shots. He's got to get up at 3 a.m,
Yeah.
No,
right?
no, I gotta get up at tomorrow at 4:30. I'm not
Oh,
taking
shoot.
any shots of Blanton's. I had 6 beers. I know better than to drink liquor after drinking beer.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say, Dash. Honestly, that was a fantastic show. I learned a lot, and
Well, thank you, Jason.
you were seriously engaged the entire time. There was a lot of questions. You know, you had Keith on there about 6 times.
Oh my
and,
god, man!
like
I said, I
it's not
fucks
easy.
with that dude. Like, no bullshit. He like, what the hell? Well, the last time I said, you know what, I'm gonna cheat. I looked up the fucking answer to the question while he was talking to me. He didn't even realize it.
Now he does. He's watching.
I'm
All
like,
right, Dash,
ain't no
come
goddamn-
on.
What?
Drink
What
up,
are we
Dash.
doing? Seriously?
What does that mean?
Oh my god.
Jason.
man.
Damn, Dave just with the chug. I love it. Going old
All
school.
right.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
What drink did your wife make you?
So, what was it?
It was some Glenegg, and I saw some.
This is a Guinness.
Some Guinness.
This is a Guinness.
Oh, okay.
And this is actually Glenlivet, but it's one of those, you buy like at Christmas time, you get the packs and they give you those glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of those around here, the glasses for the Christmas.
What's funny is I'm talking 10 years ago, we went to one of those places. Let's buy a bunch of glasses, right? You get like water glasses, you get small glasses and everything. Half those glasses have broken, because you drop them and they break and everything. So we're just like, you just pull the glass out and use it. And if it breaks, it's no big deal, right? Sort of
You never
thing.
have a full set.
You never do have a full set, right? And those crystal glasses, Waterford Crystal. I spent some time in Ireland for those who haven't followed around, but the Waterford Crystal, each glass, it weighs like a pound. It's so heavy, but they're so expensive and they're so nice. Like you almost just want to keep them around. You don't want to use them every day.
They're showpieces.
Yeah, kind of.
I have 2 Waterford Rocks glass, and I'm afraid to use them.
And they're heavy, right?
They're real heavy.
There's a glass that I have. My mom got when she used to work at A&W. I have the original. I don't have the full set, but I have the original A&W glasses. I have the mom, the pop, and the I think the baby. I have those 3, and they have not been broken yet. But they've been sitting like right here above my thing, my other glasses, and they have not been broken yet.
They don't get broke if they don't get used.
Exactly. That's why they're in the back. They're all in the back, protected.
Hey, Jason, I don't know if you're aware. There's a Guinness brewery just outside of Baltimore. And
they make the blonde there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Have you had the blonde?
It's good. I like it.
Man, I like it too.
Have you had their IPA too? That's a nitro IPA. That's pretty good.
So I'm not a fan of IPAs.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I had an IPA or something that was called an IPA there on site at the brewery, and it was called an IPA, and I'm like, I'm not gonna like this, and I tasted it, and I was like, y'all need to not call this an IPA because it's not an IPA.
It's really not an IPA.
So it could be that.
Do you live
that
far
might
away
be.
from the? Do you live far away from there then, or is this
I'm
someplace?
10 minutes away from my house.
So you're an Orioles fan?
No, I'm from Philadelphia.
Phillies.
I am a Phillies fan.
Okay.
I'm from Philadelphia, but I've been living in Maryland since 2002, and living in Baltimore since 2005.
Okay.
But I am through and through all Philly sports teams. But I rep the Eagles the hardest, just because I'm a bigger football fan than anything else. But,
So what's going on there, man? Jalen Hurts, you think?
So Jalen Hurts, dude, fly Eagles fly. I saw something today. A couple of friends were talking about, and I was talking about this earlier. I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm the Eagles fan that watches the games only. I'm not the one that listens to sports radio all day.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Okay. I saw something today, and it was talking about the fact that the Eagles picked up Joe Flacco, and I'm like, really?
I saw that too. A lot of people, and I don't mean to steal homeowners thing or Dave's thing, but to talk about sports for a second, Joe Flacco was a Super Bowl MVP, and I say what you will about the guy, but to take a team like the Ravens, who mostly known for defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
To win the MVP in the Super Bowl in a team that's primarily a defense-oriented team, it does say something about the talent level that you have. And Joe Flacco was a first-round draft pick. He played out of Delaware. Name another first-round draft pick out of Delaware. It's probably never happened, right?
I don't know.
So you might say he's past his prime. He's bounced around a bit. You know, he was in Denver for a while. He also played most recently for the New York Jets, and the Jets are just a terrible team, right? So I think in my opinion, you know, and the Eagles are starting over, right? They fired Doug Peterson. They got a new head coach. And here I am. I mean, I'm not an Eagles fan, but I could talk all day about it.
I see.
What I think is most interesting is that you have a high-flying quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who lost his job when he was a starter at Alabama to Tua, right? So Jalen Hurts then transferred to Oklahoma and had a fantastic season at Oklahoma. I thought he did very well last year. If he can be a little more precise with his throws and you give him just another half a second in the pocket, he's a dual-threat quarterback that reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson. And the Eagles are going to be a great team. They have a fantastic running back. I mean, Boston Scott, I know Mr. Homeowner is a big Philadelphia fan, but Boston Scott, that little running back, is a guy that hides there, and all of a sudden he's gone. He's the fastest guy on the field. He's also one of the smallest guys on the field. Yeah. You know, the tight end they have, Zach Ertz, is a fantastic tight end. Unfortunately, the Eagles did lose Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson is no longer an Eagle. But all those things combined, and the division that they play in, I think that the Eagles could be competing for a division this year because, let's face it, the Cowboys are terrible. The Giants, come on, right? So fly, Eagles, fly.
And the football team in Washington, they don't even have a name anymore.
Correct. Yeah. But I do like their coach. You know, I think that the gambler, Riverboat Ron, is there. First thing he did was he said, look, Haskins has got to go. He's just not putting in the effort. Alex Smith is getting old. He's a lot of salary cap.
So I think the Eagles brought in Flacco to actually help to mentor Hurts.
Correct. But you know, Flacco is one of those guys. He can stand at one end zone. I've seen this in practice. He can stand at one end zone and throw the football the entire length of the field. He's got one of the strongest arms you've ever seen. So if you want to do like an air raid style, like, okay, let's bring in Flacco because we're going verticals on it, he's the guy to get it in the end zone, right? So I don't know much about sports, but I just gave you my little.
Seriously?
No, come on, I'm just messing around here.
I don't. You know, you just talked about sports like I talk about barbecue. Because
Hurts baby.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to help us out too.
For you, Jason.
Certainly.
Okay. I just recently purchased 2 glasses. One that says mine, and the other says yours.
And this is how it goes, right? You are grounded if you're holding the glass that says mine.
And the other thing is, Flacco, is that from the movie Replacements?
No,
Falco. Shane Falco was in the Replacements.
Falco.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Gene Hackman is one of my favorite
Joey, that was
actors.
clutch. You're not high enough. You got the answer to that question.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right?
It's not possible. It's not possible. Joey.
I ate your chicken. I ate your pork and beans. I smoke more weed than any man ever seen. I think that's the way it goes. Whatever Jim Morrison said about the weed, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Is Dash coming to Keith Fest?
He
doesn't even know what Keith Fest is, right?
We really never went public with Keith Fest yet. It was still in the planning stages because, I mean, I'm a pothead, so you know how things are with potheads getting playing this stuff. You know what I mean? But
and Darnell, man. Come on, let's talk football. Come on, brother.
Imagine Dash.
Oh, that's right. I was going to ask Dash. In Baltimore, have you been to Mother's Barbecue over there in Fed Hill?
Fuck no.
No, you ain't been. You been to any of the restaurants? You been to any of the restaurants around there in Baltimore?
So I go to restaurants, but I'll be completely honest. Like, I go and I'll do more seafood stuff around here than I do barbecue because I go to a barbecue spot and I'm like thoroughly disappointed. Like, seriously,
the same thing on the days. Like, everything's so fucking salty. Everything's salty. I was like, dude,
I'm like thoroughly disappointed. Like, I had these people talking about there's a barbecue spot on the other side of town. It's called like something like Big Bad Wolf Barbecue. And I went in there and I had it, and it was like somebody cooked something on a Monday, and I was there on Thursday, and they were still serving that shit.
Ew.
And it was nasty. It was nasty. And I was just like,
that's a question for you, right? So, and I got, believe me, a million questions. I'm just trying to limit it to
Jason,
one or
man,
two.
shoot, man. I'm an open
When you
book,
go
man.
to the
Put it on
grocery
us.
store, right? When you go to
Yes.
the grocery store and you buy meat, what do you look at? Do you
All
look
right,
at
so-
expiration date that it was packaged, price? I mean, because I think that when people buy meat, the cost is the most important thing for them, but that may not be the most important thing when it comes to buying meat, right?
So here's the thing, Jason. I buy meat based off of, like, they're just, that if then else type thing is what I do. If I'm cooking for a customer, I'm going not to the grocery store. I'm going to the Restaurant Depot, or I'm going to Sam's, or I'm going to Costco.
Now, when
If
you
I'm
go to
buying-
those places, is it anything vacuum sealed or is it fresh?
Yeah, it's all vacuum. It's all vacuum packed. All
Okay.
vacuum packed. Because here's the thing: if it's in a vacuum pack, it's going to be cheaper.
Correct.
If it's
Correct.
fresh and if it's in a case, you got markup. All right. So if I'm cooking for a customer, I'm going to Sam's or Costco or Restaurant Depot. Okay. If I'm cooking for my family, and here's the next thing, and I've talked about it in videos where I talk about it every now and again. I look and find whatever the fuck is on sale.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dude,
what are we eating for dinner? What's on sale, right?
It is a crapshoot. Like, that whole chop, you don't know what you're gonna eat until you open up the basket.
Yeah.
That's how I go into the market. Like, no bullshit. I went into the market the other day to get, my wife says, hey, can you go in and get X, Y, and Z? And I always go past the meat counter, the meat case, and I found some T-bone steaks. Man, these T-bone steaks were like $7.50 a pound. You guess what? I bought all of the ones that was on sale. All of them.
Fantastic price.
All of them. Okay. And they were marked down 50% off. Okay. So I went in on a Tuesday. I cooked them things on like that Thursday or that very same day, next day.
Now, when you're doing that price, do you ever wonder, and I wonder this, but I've never talked to anybody. Do you ever wonder why a supermarket would sell T-bone steak that cheap? Is it because they overbought?
They're going to expire. No, they're going to expire.
Okay.
That's usually if they put out 15 steaks and they sell 13 at regular price, they're making money.
That's true.
They are going to replenish the steaks to fill up the case. But if they don't, just one of those things that, somebody's picking up something off the front. So if the person who is like, hold on.
Oh, I'm like, no, I'm okay. Yeah.
All right. So if the person who is stocking that shelf or putting the, if they don't pull the stuff from the back up to the front so that it gets picked up first, it can kind of linger. And if it's in a decent vacuum seal pack, if it has not been disturbed, if it looks okay and it doesn't have that brown, look, there's no shame in my game of buying discount meat, man.
Yeah, what level of brown is acceptable?
It depends on the cut.
I know it depends because do you think they dye meat? I mean, sometimes you wonder, right? You get a steak and it's bright red, and then you flip it over and it's brown on the bottom. You're like, how does that?
So
happen?
the whole thing is that's just oxidation.
Okay.
And you can, I want to say you can cut some of that off or trim some of that off. But to be completely honest, once it's cooked, it's all going to look the exact same, whether you trim that piece off or if you don't. Like I see people trim briskets aggressively, and I'm like, oh my God, that you cut into my profit. Like,
that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point.
But I will season the hell out of that meat and do whatever I need to do, and I will serve it up. And when I cut into it, you wouldn't be able to tell if it was pink or if it was brown before I put it into the smoker.
Okay.
It's all going to have a little bit of pink ring, and it's going to taste, amazing when it's done.
What's interesting is I've actually heard people say that they have bargained with the butcher a little bit. Like, hey, I see you've marked this steak down 50%. It's 8:00 the night before it's going to expire. Why don't you throw another $2 off it for me and I'll buy it tonight? And the butcher will come over and throw another sticker on there,
Well, it depends though if that butcher has that much power, because I've been in, Jason, you've watched the live stream. You've been on here. I'm a people person, okay?
Most certainly.
And I'm gonna talk to you just like I'm gonna talk to anybody else, okay? And I've been to a Sam's where they have a tomahawk steak, right? And I'm like, damn, man, you know, I talked to the guy. go Chiefs or Indians. I'm sorry. Anyway, Clevelanders aside, the whole deal is I'm standing in the meat department and I go specifically looking for that meat, that marked down meat. When you find out what day it is, that's the day I'm going in there looking for it. I went into a Sam's one day and I'm like, damn, man, you know, I'm talking to the guy in the meat department. He just so happened to be throwing stuff in the case. And he was like, what are you looking for? And I said, I was looking for the discounted meat.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, well, he said, what are you going to buy? I said, how much of a discount am I going to get? He's like, I'll mark it down. I said, oh, all right, bet. I'm going to buy 3 of them. I said, I'm feeding family of 5. He's like, all right, go ahead. He said, I'll be right back. I'm like,
that's great.
Bet.
Yeah, see, okay.
So sometimes, you know what I tell my kids, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You gotta ask sometimes.
Amen.
Amen. And you know, the people who are doing those things, I'm sure they're getting some sort of incentive to sell it. They don't necessarily have to sell it at a certain price. They just have to make sales.
Yeah, it's almost like how much are you throwing away? Even if you throw nothing away and you discount the last third of it,
they're going to either. They're going to. Yeah. And you know, one of the other things too. Oh man, Dave, we got man down.
I know.
Yeah, is Dave's screen froze or is he sleeping?
Looks like
We have to do the tomahawk chop all real loud to wake Dave up. Dave, wake up! Dave, wake up!
His 50%.
I think Rob just said.
Yeah, well, Rob booted him.
Let's not torture the poor man.
I think Dave, when he chugged that shot, I don't think Dave is.
Look, I took mine to the head, and you know I'm still here.
Joey, that was hardly a shot. That was like quarter of the bottle in one sip.
But he's been drinking all night.
And I don't think because Dave told that exact story he just told on the last show, I think. So I think Dave was a little tipsy there.
Well, that's because I'm new here, so he didn't see it. I didn't hear it. But
Jason,
let me tell you this.
That's all right.
Jason, let me tell you this.
We're talking about seafood earlier, right? Boom.
All right. Yeah, I saw your lobster roll and the crab cake and the clams.
Yeah.
That looked good. That looked good.
There was some big clams too.
Roll.
No lobsters were hurt making this
Steamers.
Oh shit!
And I only say that for Dash's. Like, have you guys ever said, "Let's go get a real lobster, a live lobster"?
Yeah.
And then you're like, "My God, this thing's crawling over the place." You know, you kind of feel bad or whatever. You know,
no, man.
Knife in its head or whatever. And that's why I said no lobsters were harmed making that video.
Well, listen. All right, so hold on, Jason. I want to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
go back.
One of the other things that I do when I go to the Restaurant Depot, whenever a cryovac pack is broken, if the vacuum seal is broken, they will mark it down. And at the Restaurant Depot, you don't get as deep of a discount as you would get at like a supermarket or like somewhere else, like Sam's. But at Restaurant Depot, 25% is better with the discount that you get for being at a Restaurant Depot or like a business place than at Sam's or at Costco or something like that.
Okay. But you need to have a business license to shop at these places. Some of these places.
Yes and no. So Restaurant Depot, you can get a day pass if you have an SCA, the State Competition or State Cooking Association membership, or a KCBS membership. So you can get a membership to some of these barbecue organizations, and that's your way in.
Okay.
And you don't have to pay to get into the Restaurant Depot. You just go in and you say, hey, I'm an SCA member. Here's my membership card or my membership number. And they'll give you a pass, because the whole thing is the Restaurant Depot wants you to go in and buy their meat from them for your competitions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, do they sell things other than food at the Restaurant Depot? Like you can get pans and pots and
tables,
chairs, tables, all that stuff, right?
Anything that you like. Not even like restaurant goods, dude. You can buy plates, forks, knives, barbecue sauces,
Okay.
tea, coffee, potato chips, candy,
Anything
like
you see in a restaurant.
Damn, I want to go in.
exactly. Well, not even the stuff that you see in the restaurant, but even the stuff that like U.S. Foods or Cisco will sell, like candy to a corner store. You could
Yeah.
get from the
Okay.
Restaurant Depot.
Okay.
Bags of chips, like individual bags of chips, like personal bags of chips or whatever from the Restaurant Depot. I mean, I go into the
see.
Restaurant Depot and primarily I'm buying the meat that I'm going to cook. But there's a seafood department in the Restaurant Depot. Like you can buy big old blocks of cheese, like sausage and hot dogs, and there's
what's
buns.
interesting is my mother-in-law, my wife's mother. She works for a high school, and she's the head cook for the high school. And what's interesting is, having talked to her and stuff, they get these like vacuum seal boxes, frozen boxes, and it's all stamped USDA, right? United States Department. So this is like food coming from the government to a school, and then this is what they have to serve to the kids.
So it's not necessarily coming from the government. It's just checked by the government.
Okay.
So that's what that USDA stamp means. It's just been checked
inspected,
by the
right? Okay.
Exactly. That's what it is. So
Jason,
the whole thing is, I saw Darnell post a comment. So Darnell, I believe that the Restaurant Depot was allowing folks to go in and use Instacart because of the pandemic.
Okay.
They relaxed a lot of the requirements and they were letting people in because of the pandemic. So that might, and just like Brian B, the Texas barbecue guy, it might not hold true everywhere in this particular area. And I know he shops at the one in Capitol Heights, I believe, where I shop at the one in Baltimore and in Capitol Heights because it's close to my work.
At the restaurant depots.
Yeah, they relaxed the requirements because I know during the pandemic, man, I went in there and I'm like, yo, why is all these people when there's a line to get in the damn store? When the markets didn't have anything, they relaxed the business requirement and they were allowing anyone to shop.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But they're not dumb. They raised the price on everything, so it was crazy.
No, for sure.
So, Jason,
before we start talking again, I'm going to take off, guys. Check out my channel if you get a chance. I put 1 o'clock was my cutoff because I got to work at 6, just like you do, Dash. So, holler at me. I'll see you around, guys. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the love, Rob. See you around.
Easy.
See you, Jason, Carl, Grumpus. Talk to you. See you, man. Everybody in the chat, Babby, and all everybody.
See you.
We love you.
Same
So,
here,
Jason, can you use your mother-in-law's credentials to shop at a Restaurant Depot?
What's interesting is the food just gets delivered, and she's almost made a statement that she doesn't really. What's so interesting about it is she doesn't actually get to choose the menu. The food just comes in. It gets shipped in like every week, and one of these freezer trucks.
Probably like a school district type thing.
It is a school district. Yeah.
The district decides on what's going to come in, and then and it's probably based off of what's available and what the nutritionist for the district has decided.
Yeah, she said, when she's been doing this, and I don't want to get too deep down a rabbit hole here, but she's been working for the district now for about 30 years. And she said, 30 years ago, she just made her own menu, right? And then she would order her food. She's like, well, Monday, I want to do burritos. Tuesday, let's do a meatloaf. Wednesday, let's have pizza, all these things. But now it's just everything is preset, and then the food comes in. And it's unfortunate she tells me this, but she said that the food just comes in these kind of blank cardboard boxes, frozen, and then she's kind of just reheating it. Like she's not
putting
actually
it in
doing
the oven.
Like a stovetop or an oven, like chili is just like in a bag, and she just, it's
pours
just
it
like
into a pan.
It's
not really.
But it's the way you feed the masses, I guess, right?
Yep.
I mean,
So I can tell you, at my kids' school,
Hey guys, real quick, I'm gonna get going. I gotta get up my little one tomorrow for school.
Carla,
hold on. Where are you, Carla? And what do you do? You're where?
Say that again?
Where are you, and what do you do on YouTube?
Oh, I have a polish channel, but I do like other stuff on that polish channel too. I do like stuff with my family on there, and it gets put up on there.
Okay.
Cooking and stuff like that. I do that
All
on
right.
there. Yeah, it's not just like 3 days a week is Polish Channel, but I have not been like, like you were talking about earlier about your channel. You have not been filming. I have not been filming. It's like I get like you don't have no time. You have no way of doing it. I don't either. I even got a whole set here to get ready to do it. But it's like I have a 3-year-old and I got an 11-year-old. And it's like I don't have time. The only time I can have it, excuse me, only time I can have it is when I'm on with you guys and I don't want to miss that. So I was like, screw it.
Well, thanks for hanging out. I definitely appreciate you hanging out with us. And unfortunate as it may be, I don't do nail polish.
No, that's fine. I've been told me
Not yet.
I know.
They're on my channel.
I'm telling you, my daughter is trying to get me to do, but no, I'm resisting. I'm resisting hard. But yeah. Well, thank you very much for hanging out. Definitely.
Have a good night.
You guys
Get some
too.
good rest. Get
Good
some
night,
good
Carla.
rest.
I will. Good night.
All right. I'm a
I'll
glutton
see
for
you
punishment.
Saturday though. I'll be on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday
All right.
we're all on for the night. I joke with Rob. He's like, Jason, how long you on? I said, well, I'm on till 4 a.m. And Rob's like, oh, I can't do that. I got to go to bed early tonight. And 4:30 in the morning for his time, he was like, look, this is my last beer.
Look, I'm telling you, I was so Rob, I guess I caught like somebody came into my stream, or actually I was doing something one night and I saw Rob was on and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go just say hi. And whatever they were talking about, it drew me in. And I was like, you know what? After I finish my live stream, I'm going to talk to them. And I ended up talking to Hobo until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, dude, I got to go to bed.
I know.
I got to get up.
Sometimes I find the hardest, it's the hardest thing. The easiest thing is to say hello to somebody. The hardest thing is to say goodbye, right? You're sitting here saying, when's the time to say goodbye? Come on.
You say goodbye. No, you say goodbye. You hang up. No, you hang up.
It takes a second to say hi and 10 hours to say goodbye.
Good night, Carla.
Good night, Carla.
Yeah, take care, Carla.
You too. Nice meeting you, Dash.
Yes, indeed. Right back at you.
All right. Goodbye.
My goodness, Dash, you're now 4 straight hours, right?
I'll do that. This is 5 hours, actually. Oh, no, it's
5
4
hours.
hours. You're right.
Okay.
No, 4. It's been since 9 p.m. So it's 4 hours. Look at Rob
4.
is counting.
Yeah.
I ain't that drunk. And you know what's even funnier? I have not gotten up from the seat other than to get beer. I haven't even gone pee.
That's like
Wow.
Hobo. Hobo's secret is he actually sits on a porta potty, so he never leaves his chair. He's like, "Hey, cheers," And
Now Hobo got up
So
a
the
couple
diaper
times.
rumor's not right.
Oh, for me? Or for Hobo? Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I just, I don't. Nah, man. I've gotten better at, I do my bread and butter on my live stream is a 2-hour live stream. And then when I wasn't putting up videos, I would go for 3 hours sometimes. But I'm like, every now and again, I just drink too much and I'm like, I'll be falling asleep or I'm tired. But I mean, I think for St. Patrick's Day, I had I drank a nitro coffee Guinness and I drank a blonde. And I had 2 of each. And I'm like, come on, whatever. Look at Rob is yawning. That's usually me. Grumpus will tell you I yawn a lot.
And call him out on it.
Oh man, they
Rob has every excuse to yawn. The guy is the king of the last beer, the last 4 hours.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. But Jason, so I was gonna tell you, at my kids' school, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they got rid of, or they had like someone that came in and actually cooked in the kitchen.
Okay.
And my kids were excited about lunch versus the year before where the Baltimore, so my kids go to private school, private Catholic school. So where the Baltimore Archdiocese decided what they were going to have. And it was like the difference between when they had the Archdiocese lunch versus the lunch when the lady was cooking for them was night and day. They would clamor and be like, no, we're not doing lunch at home. I want to eat the lunch at school. Versus can you make me lunch at home, or can we stop at the market and get a Lunchable, or can we do this, or can we? I'll take peanut butter and jelly over eating whatever it is.
You know what? I think there's a problem with that, especially today for most people, and maybe all people. There's not a whole lot to get excited about. Let's be honest, right? You know, it's kind of a down period for all of us. So mealtime is kind of an exciting period. Like,
it's
okay,
sacred,
something
man.
to look forward to. You know, like what am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to have for dinner? And if these kids are kind of, you know, like, Dad, can you make me a sandwich? Of course, you're obliged, right? You're like, my goodness, my kids want me to make a lunch for them. But then you're kind of like, what are they serving at the school that's so bad, right? Like,
yeah.
You know?
Well, so I have, you know, both ends of the spectrum. My middle son, who's in the 8th grade, he doesn't mind the lunch at school. Or my daughter, she's like, nope, I'm not eating it. I'm not eating it. But my thing is this, I'm like, okay, well, if you're not going to eat the lunch, then I need you to tell me what you want for lunch. Now, I'm not, when it comes to making lunches and doing things like that, I'm not very creative. My wife is very creative, and she will make salads, and she will do this, and she will do that. I'm like, so I'm making you oodles and noodles, or I'm making peanut butter and jelly. Which one is it? You got 2 options. And, you don't want either one of them? Then eat the school lunch.
You know, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a lot of people kind of shy down on that. But
hey, Terry, thank you very much.
Oh, good night, Madwood. Good night, brother. Good luck at the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the jelly, right? You know, Smucker's is okay. But if you do some nice homemade, or even like Rob was saying, let's buy local, right? Let's go to your farmer's market, or let's see what the people in the community are making. If you get a really good jelly, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on like a nice bread, it's almost a delicacy, in my opinion. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like, I have 0 problems eating peanut butter and jelly. You know, a toasted potato bun.
Yeah.
You know, like, man, toasted potato bread, and creamy peanut butter. I've kind of grown away from the crunchy peanut butter, and it's got to be, for me, it's got to be grape. Okay. Now, I like a grape jam.
Yeah, I was going to say
jam.
Grape jelly. Oh, you're gonna say jam, but
yeah. Well, it's not a jam, because it's jelly is gelatinous and it's harder to spread, but they have like a grape spread, and I can't remember if it's jam or if it's but it spreads like peanut butter spreads.
That is a good question, Dash. What's the difference between a jam and a jelly? Does one of them not have seeds? Because I know that one of them doesn't have any seeds. Like, you can say like a grape jelly or something has no seeds, but a jam will have seeds in it, right?
It probably has to do with the gelatin content, because one is just like together, almost kind of like a frozen yogurt versus ice cream. One has a higher milk fat.
Yeah.
Which
do you prefer, a jam or a jelly?
I prefer a grape spread. Where
okay.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Is, you have jellies, jams, and spreads. I prefer a spread.
I like preserves.
Yeah,
and then you've got a preserve. So that's 4 different things, right? Jelly, jam, preserve, or spread.
Look, Jason's getting ready to open up a new window to open up Google and find out the difference between them.
Okay. No, Grumpus, you're right though, right? Everybody has their preference.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, like, I know that I like a grape spread because I want to spread it, like a I can't believe it's not butter, like a butter spread where I'm not like tearing up my butter because the butter is cold. That's how I want to spread my jelly and that's how I feel.
Have you tried butter in your peanut butter and jelly?
No, so I've never added butter to a peanut butter and jelly.
Hot toast, butter, peanut butter, and preserves.
Yeah.
See,
you're right. When I was growing up, my grandmother would always butter the bread before she made any sandwiches. Butter would go on first, and then a mayonnaise, or then a butter or peanut butter. It's an old thing. Butter before anything.
Hey, Grumpus, I'd take offense to that. He said that's an old thing.
Well,
there's a lot of old things are better.
My mother never did that. So when I say it's an old thing, my mother never did that, but my grandmother did that.
Okay? Yeah.
So my grandmother
like apple butter too, darn now.
Yeah, she's like, "What do you want?" I said, "How about a let's just say ham and cheese sandwich." She'd butter the bread first,
before mayonnaise,
then before
mustard.
mayonnaise, and then before mustard. So there'd always be a little bit of butter on the bottom of the bread. And she's the last person that would ever do that. I don't know if that's anything newer than that generation.
It may be
No
spoke
offense,
to the quality of the bread or lack thereof, where they had to add, something else like an extra fat to the butter to the bread.
Yeah.
So sometimes, when I see generational things, I'm like, well, maybe it was they're a product of their environment. Like here's another one. Do you rinse off your meat?
No.
Before you cook it?
No.
I do. But then again, at the same time, I know that I don't have a problem buying an older cut of meat. And that older cut of meat might have that that little bit of is it questionable, sometimes I cook that stuff for us, for me.
I've heard people rinse their meat because let's say you're eating a piece of meat that has a bone on it, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I do that too.
They're cutting these pieces of meat on a bandsaw, and then the small little
shards
and the little fragments of it can. So you want to
rinse off the bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do rinse my meat for that.
Rinse poultry.
I don't rinse meat though, or chicken. Nope.
But Grumpus rinses chicken.
See, I rinse off all my poultry.
I rinse everything, but then again, I also kind of use the water as a binder, where a lot of people use mustard or they use like oils and things like that. I rinse it not to the point where it's like dripping, sopping wet, but I mean, I cooked some ribeyes today, boneless ribeyes, and I cut them out of the package, and they were full price or whatever. But I cut them out of the package. I rinsed them off, and then I put my base layer down, the seasoning, and then I put something on top of it, and I use the water as a binding agent, if you will.
Yeah,
I think they say don't rinse poultry because it splashes bacteria.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm a big boy. I can rinse without making a mess.
Well, not even that, but I wash my sink before I start cooking, and then I wash it after I start cooking.
Exactly. That sink's just another big bowl to me.
That's a good point. Man. I was going to ask you guys. So as an example, Grumpus, when you rinse your poultry, will you then go in with some sort of a bleach or some sort of a Dawn soap to kind of
soap and water, man?
Scrub
soap and water. I
scrub the sink, right?
I'm a fanatic on my sinks.
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
scrub them. They're spotless. And if I've got a turkey or a big chicken or something, I just use that sink like a stainless steel bowl.
Okay.
And when I'm done, I just scrub it down again.
Now, do you have I know this is going down another rabbit hole, but
we're good rabbits.
Every day I learn something new. Do you have a garbage disposal down that sink drain?
Not the sink that I use.
Okay, not the sink that you use. Now, Dash does, right? Now, how often are you? I've seen these little pellets and I've used them.
I don't do those pellets, man. That's bullshit. Put some ice down there, okay? And what I do every now and again, the ice, and that's exactly it. So I was just getting ready to say today I ate. I ate my lunch today, and I was like, man, I want something sweet. So as opposed to getting some candy, I ate some oranges.
Okay.
All right. And I diced the oranges or cut the oranges up into eighths. So by the time I peeled the meat off of the flesh, I put the oranges into the garbage disposal.
Okay.
And I turned it on. And the whole thing is I'm going to use the things that I'm using as scraps to help keep the garbage disposal from stinking and being nasty.
That's fantastic.
And if I'm doing a whole bunch of, if I'm processing a whole bunch of meat and I have skins of chicken or little pieces of fat from the brisket, then I'll put a half a cup of ice down behind that, in the garbage disposal, because the ice is going to help the fat to be broken up.
Okay.
And it won't, because what ends up happening is if you have too many meat scraps in there, the fat just gets stuck. And
it does. It kind of goes to the end of the disposal, and it may stay there for a prolonged period of time, right?
Yeah.
That's why you run a bone down there once in a while, or
something to break it all up and clean it all out.
Now I generally go to the store. I'll buy limes. Down here I can buy limes $5 for $1, and 2 or 3 times a week, right before I go to bed, I'll drop a line down that garbage.
A whole
disposal.
lime.
The whole thing. I'll turn it on without the water.
Yep.
For maybe 3 seconds, and I just let it sit overnight, and let those acids, that citrus acid, clean that stuff up and polish it up. Next morning, I rinse it down the drain.
Thank you.
And for $1, I can clean my garbage disposal for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and all of those little packets, those balls and stuff like that you see, they're all citrus.
Yeah,
Right,
I
and
know.
they're
the little-
expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
man,
about
I ain't doing that.
They're actually about $1 a piece. So for your point, 5 for $1 limes, you're saving yourself 80 cents, right?
It's doing the same thing that other stuff is doing.
Yeah, and I don't usually, like I said, I'll use the scraps to clean the garbage disposal. So if I'm cutting up oranges for my daughter, hey, don't put those orange rinds in the trash can. Put them leave it on the counter, and I'll put them in the garbage disposal.
Right.
Same thing. Like I said, I ate 2 oranges today, and just like Grumpus, he said he puts it in there without turning the water on. I'll turn the water on.
Yeah.
But I also, and then, that rubber gasket grommet type thing, I'll pull that out, and I'll use a glove, and I'll get anything. Because my kids, man, everything like that, the plastic gets down in there, and it just gets stuck. So I'll clean it out every now and again as well. I haven't gone as far as taking off the garbage disposal from the ring to get in there and clean it out.
That's like last resort.
No, I never do that.
Yeah.
But I do pull the rubber out about once a month.
Okay.
And, I can get my hand down in there, scrub everything out real good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Darnell's up with you here. His girlfriend saved the orange peels to run through the garbage disposal.
Yeah. I'll tell you a secret. Once you get to the fall period, I would say October through January, maybe February, you kind of, for me anyway, it's kind of nice to have the house kind of smelling a little different. And
I make potpourri all the time.
Exactly. And the best for me, the best potpourri that you can make is so easy. You take your orange peels that you were talking about, okay?
Yep.
You put them in a little pot. You take a handful of cloves, you put those in the pot. Maybe a cinnamon stick or 2, and you simmer that all day, and you just add water to it.
Dude,
that smell, it just smells so good. And
it's almost as good as baked cookies.
The whole house, people come in and they're like, my God, it smells good in here. I said, that's an old orange peel, a cinnamon stick, and a handful of cloves. It was pennies on the dollar. And my goodness, it smells so good. And at the end of the day, you just dump it out and start over in the morning. So for those listening, in the fall and the winter, you want your house to smell like grandma's house. Remember, how grandma's house smelled because she would be baking all day? That is the best smell in the world right there.
Yeah,
We'll use citrus. That's a good trick if you're selling your house too.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Cookies.
Yeah. Marketing.
We don't do cloves or cinnamon just because, it can get costly to buy cinnamon. But all of the citrus, if my wife is making like a lemonade or something like that, after the lemons come out of the damn container for the lemonade into a pot, and we will boil those things for a day or 2 for sure.
Amazing, right?
Yep. Well, all of the citrus.
Potpourri, that's free potpourri.
Weber chips and oil burners. What? Yo,
I look at an oil burner as a diesel engine. That's what I call an oil burner. I own an oil burner myself, so.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a waste oil burner. But I don't know. Explain
is he
yourself.
talking about those little things you put on like a night light?
Maybe.
Is that what he's talking about?
Who knows? Sure. Brian, you gotta explain yourself there, buddy.
Robbie, tell us your secrets. How do you keep the house smelling good in the wintertime? Because in the springtime you can open your windows and everything, but in the wintertime those smells kind of linger, and you're stuffy, right? So what do you do to
between candles and the potpourri or whatever it is I'm cooking? That's about all I have. But
how about you, Rob? Oh, I got a yawn.
Wake up, Rob.
So I'm trying to pay attention to the chat here.
Rob's obliged. It's almost 2 a.m. for Rob at the moment. So
it's the same time for him and I.
Look, I have the utmost, and I tell people that I work with, I have the utmost respect and admiration for Rob. He's the only guy I know that manages to do this 3, 4, 5 in the morning and is fresh the very next day. It's a miracle.
Some of us don't need as much sleep.
What? Rob,
Some of us don't need as much sleep.
But look at him. He's only 21.
Yeah, 21, 22 next month.
You know, we like to joke, right? Every president that's always come in looks ready to go, right? And then they come out and they're like, my goodness, what happened to you, right? Who would want that job? You know, it's like, my goodness.
I would not put my family through that.
You know? Like me, you know, you're like, my goodness, you come out and you're like, that guy has been through some shit, right?
Yeah.
Now, Rob does this. Now, the thing is, right, there's no off weeks. It's not like Rob's going to say, I'm on vacation. He's on the hot seat every Thursday.
I feel the same exact way. I've done live streams from different countries. I've done live streams when I've been on vacation.
You just got to go, right? Walter Cronkite was on for 60 years.
Yeah. Look, I did a live stream when I was in Germany, and I got up at 3:00 in the morning, you know, local time, in order to get on to do the live stream. And it you know, not that it was any better than any of the other live streams, but it was like, I'm doing a live stream because this is what I do on this particular time.
Do, right? Yeah, it's what you do. People look forward to it.
And you got a good story.
Yeah, man, I did get it. I got a hell of a story out of it. And the place where we were staying, like, it was creepy because it was like an old house, like a big old house / castle. And I'm walking around the damn place at 3:00 in the morning. I'm the only one awake, and I'm like, man, it's creaking and making a whole bunch of noise. But I was live from Germany, man. It was dope. It was dope.
Isn't that great? And see, that's the thing. You probably remember that live stream more than
I don't remember the content of the live stream. I remember doing the live stream, or, you know, there's just like Grumpus said, there's a story behind it. You know, I have live streams that I do. I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday, I'm doing a live stream. But the live streams that kind of stick out are the ones like, you know, where I got completely obliterated and I deleted that one off of YouTube. I remember that one. Well, don't remember it. The live stream where I was driving, you know, I talk about going on a fishing trip, and I was driving to Philly to pick up my father-in-law. And I'm like, well, it's Wednesday at 9:00. I got to do this live stream. So I did the live stream while I was driving to Philly. And I'm like, should I be driving and doing a live stream? Cool. Hell no. But I did it. Because it was one of those deals where it's like, well, you know how it's like, it's 9:00 or almost 9:00, and I can either go to sleep or I can wake up in 3 hours. And it's like, if I go to sleep, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. I'm like, all right, nope, I got to go now. So that was like the last minute decision. So, and there are times when, like, so for the past two Thanksgivings, I have not done a live stream the Wednesday before Thursday because I'm cooking. Like, it's a busy day for me.
And I asked you about Thanksgiving. Like, that's one meal you cannot screw up, right?
Nope. But last year I was like, you know what? Hell, I'm cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and get my cook started early, so that when it's time for me to do the live stream, and I actually, as opposed to me doing a 9:00 live stream, I started at 8:00, and I'm like, hey, I know I'm catching some of you guys off guard, but as opposed to me not doing a live stream, I figure I'll do it an hour early, and we can talk for like an hour while I'm in a little bit of downtime before I have to do what I need to do. So, but it's just one of those things where if you get to the point where you get into it and you have a routine. This is your schedule, right, Rob?
That's true.
Hey, Thursday nights I do this, and you know, you're like, hey, what day of the week is that? Oh, it's a Thursday. Nope, can't do that. I have something already, pre-existing engagement, blah blah blah. But other times, it's like, all right, well, if I do that on Wednesday, I need to be home by 8:30, or I need to be, some of those times, and I can manage. Like, there are times when I'm like running in the door at 8:50, 8:55, and I'm sitting down and I'm like, ooh, all right, guys, time to do the live stream. So, and I'm not nearly as sophisticated as Rob is, where he sets up the stream and the card and all of that stuff way ahead of time. I found, and Rob, I don't know if this is the case with you, I found that when I do put out the notice that the live stream is going to be happening more than like 4 or 5 hours ahead, people don't show up. They forget. But because I've gotten to the point where there's enough people that know, hey, Wednesdays, Dash does a live stream. But then I get the same thing, you know, Rob, I'm sure, you know, there are other people who are doing live streams at the same time you are.
Right, yeah.
And
Rob has actually mentioned that before. Or maybe Rob or Keith is somebody's like, well, I know I'm interfering with 4 other live streams, but I told so many people I'd go live tonight. So you may almost be overlapping continuously, right? Unless you go live at some obscure time of the day, like 4 a.m. or something, you know.
There's always overlap somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep. And I know that.
Especially this last year, it seems like everybody's going live.
And you know, and Grumpus Grumpus will be able to tell you, I can tell when someone else's live stream ends because I get all these like a proliferation of people who come in.
I've heard that before.
Like, oh.
Rob's like, somebody's live stream ended, so 10 more people have joined. Yeah.
I'm guilty too. I got 3 monitors, and I'll have 3 different live streams going at one time.
Yeah, I know for a fact.
It's hard to pay attention.
St. Patrick's Day, Lep had his thing, and then Rob's like, "Hey, the babe and the, you know, they're gonna do a video. Let's jump over here." And Keith's like, "Well, I don't want to. I can't lose this one to go to that one." And then you know how it is. It just kind of ended up happening. So,
look, I already know. Like I said, because I've been doing a live stream. Like I have one of the longest continuous live streams that has been out there. And my whole thing is I work on Thursday mornings. I don't have to go in, or I don't have to be at work until 10. So I'm like, all right, well, Wednesday night I can be up late because I can sleep in on Thursday morning. Yeah. And I started doing a live stream like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Before
now, do you
it was
physically going into an office environment, Dash? Like,
yeah, I do. I am.
You know, because like most of us are all still working from home and everything. But
well,
you physically
I do that for a few different reasons. One reason is to get away. The second reason is because there are people needed to put hands on keyboards to do different things.
I see.
Look, Dash's live stream is the same time as Joe's. I feel like I'm cheating on Dash if I watch Joe's. And I know that. And you know, I won't say I can address it, but I can tell you that Joe, his live stream, when he started doing his live streams like more consistently on a Wednesday, I can see that the numbers that I would have where I would have 50 people, I'm down to 30 people, or I'm down to 25 people.
I see.
And I'm like, and then when it jumps up and I'll have, you know, an additional 5 to 10 people come in, it's like a revolving door where it's like, oh, hey, you know, I'm only here for 10 or 15 minutes. I just want to say hi, give you a thumbs up, boom, boom, boom. And then people are coming in.
I see.
But when people come in, I'm like, oh, Kent came in, and, you know, CJ will come in, or, you know, like a couple other of the channels that I know and like. I'm like, oh, hey, I guess Joe finished up. So it is what it is.
You know, one thing I think is like extremely interesting is if you try to keep your content ever changing, right? Like, and I'll just cite this as like Rob's example is, he's young.
Sorry.
Like he did a fantastic seafood cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I would say is, and Rob would probably agree, slightly different than what you normally do, right? I mean, you know, you had lobster, you had those crab cakes, you had those clams.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different cook. So Dash, do you do something similar to say, okay, like this day, I'm going to do something either I've never done, or this is like a once in a month type thing?
So yes,
you know,
and
to
no.
kind of keep it interesting, right?
And so the yes and the no of it is, on my channel, it is seemed to like morph from just doing barbecue videos and cooking videos to me talking more about catering while barbecuing. And though, and one of the things that I could kind of like almost 100% say, each of the videos that I was doing a video because I was getting paid to cook. Now I'm doing more videos and I'm cooking more to feed my family because I'm not catering as much. Whereas in the beginning, I was watching or I was cooking to feed my family, and then it evolved to me cooking to feed other people who were paying me. Now it's gone full circle, and I'm back to cooking.
So how do you, now that sort of COVID is what it is,
yeah,
we're kind of coming, I would say, not even full circle. Maybe we're like turning the clock
rounding the corner. Yeah,
we're starting to round the
corner.
How do you see? And this is, my goodness, like 20 questions, right? But how do you see what you were going on earlier? I went from cooking for people to cooking for my family. Are you starting to cook for people more?
So the whole thing is, I've never stopped cooking for people. It's just I'm not cooking at the same volume, the same level.
Okay.
Where I was cooking, 4 to 6 briskets for an event, I'm cooking a single brisket, or I'm cooking 3 pounds, or I have an order for 3 pounds of brisket. Like my minimum is 3 pounds of brisket, which is going to cover the cost of the brisket. And then I will buy a teeny tiny brisket. And then I'm like, all right, well, I got some new neighbors that live next door, right? Oh no, how you doing, man?
What's going on?
I know he's on the East Coast too, so it's early for him. But,
early.
So the whole thing is,
I hear what you're saying, Dash, because at this point you're almost kind of like, what is covering the cost versus what's. I mean, ideally. And my uncle did catering, right? So I would talk to him about it. But like, you have a sweet spot. I'd love to feed 75 to 100 people, as an example, right? That's my sweet spot. That's where I can make the most money, and it's the least amount of work, and it's the best product. Anything more than that, I'm a little stressed, and anything less than that, it's
not worth your time.
It's barely break even, right? So you have that sweet spot, right? So
Jason, I'll tell you this, right? And again, and it's what I was getting ready to say. When people hit me up and they're like, "Hey man, are you cooking?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm cooking, but it's the minimum." Okay, so I'll tell people it's a 3 pound minimum. Now the 3 pounds, if I sell 3 pounds of brisket, that's covering my cost.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I have to decide. I'm like, all right, well, if I get a brisket that's too big, I'm going to have to try and sell more brisket to other folks, or we are going to have brisket at my house, but my wife and my kids, they're sick of brisket, man. They eat it all the time, but then, like I was just saying, I got some new neighbors. So I took some brisket over to my new neighbors. I'm like, hey, you're going to have to deal with me doing this barbecue thing. So you're going to be smelling smoke. Hey, if you see smoke, if you smell smoke, it's probably just me cooking. Do not call the fire department, right? and I mean, when I met them the first day, I'm like, hey, I do this barbecue thing. Don't call the fire department.
I know.
But the whole deal is like there are certain times and certain places or people where I'm like, you know what? I got some extra food. I'm going to give it to them. But at the same time, I also make sure that I'm going to make some money, and I'm not, not making money. Like right now, this is obviously this is the deadest my business has been, and I'm not making a whole bunch of money, but everything that comes in is going right back out. Right. So, like I'm not rolling in the dough hand over fist, and I don't have anything extra, but I'm not taking any money out of my own pocket to put into my business.
Yeah. It's interesting to kind of give you a comparison. I had a guy come give me a quote. I need some stumps ground, right? I took some trees down. It's easy to cut a tree down, but it's tough to take a stump down, right?
Yeah.
And the stump grinder's like, look, the money you give me is basically just going to keep up the maintenance on my machines, right? Yeah. He's like, I'm just doing it because you need the help and I'm here, And similar to what you're saying, you're sort of, this job pays maybe for the next one and pays maybe for the next one, but it's not like a continuous flow of massive business, right?
No. And I mean, I'll do things like, and one of my things is, if I'm taking family time away by cooking and I can't do something, then I'm going to have the business pay for us the next time to go out.
Okay.
I'm going to replace that time I lost. But so Brian says, I do whole briskets at $150 a pop, but I guarantee it's a 12 pounds cooked. I do briskets for $140 a pop, and I won't say guarantee, but I say that my briskets are 8 pounds plus. Now, one of the differences between Brian and I is he gets briskets way cheaper because he's down in Texas versus what I can get briskets for.
That's absolutely correct, because the cost of the product varies depending upon where you are located.
Oh yeah, definitely. And not only that, but it also varies on what I can actually sell. Like, he probably takes a 20-pound brisket and doesn't do any sort of trimming or doesn't do very much trimming, where I have to trim it because folks up here, they're like I had a girl one time, she straight called me and was like, "What did you do to this brisket? It's nothing but fat." And I'm like, "I cut it a little differently." I'm like, "You know what? I got you. Where are you?" Like, I took it to her job. I cut some more brisket, took it to her work, and gave it to her for free. And I'm like, that was an experiment, and that was, a failed experiment. I'll never do it again.
So you definitely. Oh, sorry, Darnell. Let me just interrupt for a second. Darnell, good evening. Love you, brother. I'm looking out for my mailbox. I'm looking out for my package.
Yeah, so your package is coming in too. So you should have the first part on Monday or Tuesday. The second part should arrive on the 1st or the 2nd of April.
Well, as I've mentioned before, I hope you include a return address.
Yeah, there should be an address on there.
Because if there's a return address, you can expect something in return. Thank you very much, brother.
Well, I wasn't expecting anything. So
no,
okay.
Will it be steaming, Jason?
No. See, somebody told me a long time ago, there's something called a Cleveland steamer, and my last name's Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked up Cleveland steamer. I said, this is the most ridiculous, idiotic, nasty, terrible thing in the world. I don't want to talk about it. It's not steaming. No, if I was going to send something to Darnell, it's like, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I want to go ahead and I'm going to hook a brother up here. And I hope that you come down to Keith Fest, Darnell, but I don't know if you can. I know that we just mentioned Keith Fest.
Yeah. So it's June 11th through 11th, 12th, 13th?
11th through the 13th.
Where is it?
Evansville, Indiana.
Indiana.
Oh.
It's at Keith's house, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Grumpus, are you coming?
No, I won't be able to come. I'm in Texas.
I'm in Washington State. I'm coming.
All right, so hold on. Darnell was starting. He was saying something. What was it you were saying, Darnell?
Oh, okay. So okay, it's a couple of things then. So with Jason was he and I had a conversation with some other folks a couple of weeks ago. He had never had a food injector, and I was telling him that I bought a Tony Chachere's, however you
Chachere's, yeah.
But when you buy those, you get food injectors, right? So when I was doing my holiday cooking, I was stuck with like 20 plus of those damn syringes, right? So I said, dude, I got like 30 of them fucking things. I'll send you some. So, but I actually went up and beyond. So Jason got a nice package coming, but he should enjoy it.
Thank you, Darnell. My goodness gracious.
And like I said, I wasn't expecting these. You don't have to say anything. I told you I was going to do something. So,
I want to.
I lived up to it. I sent it, and then so y'all was talking about the brisket and the trimming of the brisket, and how the one young lady called you saying something about the fat.
Yeah.
So the dilemma I have here is when I try to trim briskets here, everybody's like, "Where's the fat at?" So they want the fat here, at home.
Darnell, where are you? Where are you? You in PG County?
Capitol Heights. That's
yeah.
Told you like 30 times.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are like 5 minutes from each other.
No,
oh, no.
like an hour.
45 minutes.
No,
Yeah.
45 minutes an hour.
All right, so here's the deal, right? There's certain people who know about brisket and they want the fat. And there are other people who I've introduced to brisket and they don't want the fat. And one of the other things too I've found is more women prefer the lean cuts of the brisket than the moist cuts of the brisket. Yeah. So, less fat. And I'm telling you, I trim it because you can always, just say, oh, hey, this is how it came. All right. Versus having too much fat on a brisket. And you get people that are like, yo, it was nothing but fat. Like, I didn't get any meat. Like, this is this, I pay for this. And you get people that just, they don't like it. And I mean, I can't fault somebody because it's fat. Like we can appreciate the fat on a brisket. But somebody who's
the
paying
females
for it,
around me, they must be an exception to the rule because they want the damn fat. So
I'm telling you,
I
it's not
remember
100%
I was telling you
rule, but
yeah, but customer wise, yes, I try to trim as much as I can, but I remember I was telling you a few weeks ago, like I go on Fort Belvoir, Andrews, or whatever, and get my briskets, right? And so the good part about that, I can get 20-pound briskets from off base, and
I don't want to hear the price. I don't want to hear it.
I do.
With the decal removed, right? So with the decal removed, 20-pound brisket, I think the last whole brisket I bought with the decal already removed was it was 20 pounds. It was choice. No, it was prime, matter of fact. The flat I got was choice. So it was a prime brisket. It was 20 pounds with the deck. This is after the decal was already removed out. It was still 20 pounds. And I paid $50 or $40 for that damn thing.
How much a pound?
It's like $2.50.
I don't know. It's like
not even $3.
Something like that. Yeah.
I can math quite quick. And I'm telling you, from the Restaurant Depot with all of that fat on it, I'm paying almost $4 a pound for brisket.
Yeah, I think I looked at Restaurant Depot the other day. I think they were charging like $2.79 or $3 a pound.
It's probably a little higher. Probably a little bit, a little bit more than $3.
So when I go through Instacart, the prices change like every few days or whatever. So it's almost like they're doing like a market price.
They do a market price
to your house.
If that makes sense.
Cost delivered to your house.
So, but like I said, I can go on Andrews Air Force Base or Fort Belvoir or whatever, and that last 20-pounder I bought, I even bought a 10-pound. I'm pretty sure that was a choice, a flat, and that was 10 pounds, and I paid $40 for that. And both of those briskets, the flat and the whole brisket, both came cryovac and everything ready to go. So,
yeah. So Jason was asking you, Darnell, if that Instacart if it gets delivered to the house. So yeah, it gets delivered right to you.
Okay, I'll be honest. That's one thing I've never done is an Instacart. So if I do Instacart, that basically means the cost of the product plus the cost of delivery all the way to my home.
Okay, so
that's what Darnell was talking about.
So when you go through Instacart, they charge you a little bit more versus you going to the store. But the thing is, you don't have to walk the aisle. You don't have to pick out shit. They pick out good stuff for you, and they bring it to your door. And the thing is, nothing comes in bags.
Can you reject anything?
I don't know why you would though.
But let's say like an apple, so it's fuck, this apple's been dropped. There's a bruise on it.
When you ordering apples from Restaurant Depot, you pretty much ordering a case of apples.
Yep.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So
and it's gonna be some bad apples in that case.
There are some bad apples.
Ain't no way. People get a.
I ended up ordering like 24 bunches of collard greens, right? And I think it was like $14 for 24 bunches of collard greens. And it was like $14. Like, you can't beat that, really, to be honest.
And I'll tell you what, that store in Capitol Heights is one of the worst, because it is so damn busy. There's there are 3 Restaurant Depots in this area. There's one in Alexandria. There's one in Capitol Heights, and there's one in Baltimore. And the one in, down in PG County where he is, like, I was in there right before Christmas, and the line went down around to the back of the store, all the way down the back of the store to the last aisle of the store, and halfway up the last aisle of the back of the store. And we're talking about a warehouse, like a Costco or a Sam's. So it's not like, it was, 5 or 10 people in line. We're talking 50 to almost 100 people standing in line while I got 1 or 2 things and we all got to go through the same damn line.
So if you order through Instacart, you don't have to do none of that waiting. I'd rather pay the extra, $1 or something per pound or whatever.
Yeah.
Have somebody break it to my doorstep. And on top of that, you can stay home and keep on cooking.
I hear you.
Why they drop your stuff off for you? You know what I'm saying?
My problem with that, the only problem I have is depending on what I am cooking and how much I have to cook, that determines the size of the briskets that I need. And I can't just say, okay, I need a brisket. No, I need a specific weight brisket because I have to make the determination on.
So on Instacart, right? When you go in, say if you want to select a brisket, when you click on the brisket, right? That you want, whether it be Prime Choice, USDA, whatever the hell it wants. Once you click on it, it has a pound. So it says like $2.25 a pound. So you hit that plus until you equal 10 pounds or 15 pounds or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you circumvent that. So you just add how many pounds you want, and then whoever that person, the shopper is, it's just like I ordered some pork brisket bones, right? I didn't know what the hell they were, but I was like, fuck, they're $1.49 a pound. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna smoke the hell out of them, right? Basically, what those ended up being were just the flats on the ribs to make rib tips. So it came with like 5 or 6 big healthy slabs of that rib cap, right? That flat to make rib tips. But the person, the shopper, she called me. She was like, "Hey, I'm not exactly sure." So at least she stopped and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm just not gonna grab some random shit." She called me and communicated with me. I went back in the app.
Checked it out.
Took the picture, sent her the picture, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, it's the right thing." So I got the right product, and actually on the app it was $1.89 a pound. I actually ended up paying $1.49 a pound. So I'm glad that happened, and I ended up getting like 15 pounds of this what they call pork brisket bones, but it was basically the meat to make rib tips. So it worked out in my favor. Like I said, so I think Instacart is good. You don't have to fucking leave your house. Even what's the other thing called?
DoorDash or
not DoorDash, but Amazon, Amazon Fresh, whatever it's called. Yeah. Like that's so great. Especially during like the height of COVID. You don't have to leave your house.
I can't relinquish control, man. I have to see what I'm getting. I'm way too anal.
Food I'm buying.
Yep.
But I hear a funny story about that Amazon Fresh. So this is about 2 months ago. My wife orders a bunch of shit, food, and then she's like, "Well, let's have some white wine tonight, right?" I'm like, "Fuck, all right, fine." Normally, I just buy white wine at the store and come home or whatever. And then my daughter has an appointment. It wasn't really scheduled, but we had to go take her to an appointment. And the Amazon Fresh driver is going to be delivering between this 2-hour window. And because you have alcohol, you have to be there to sign for it. Right?
Oh.
So we're like, oh, fuck, like all this other shit. So she goes on to this chat with this person. And to make a long story very short, the person is essentially saying you need to be there to sign for the whole shipment. But
because of the alcohol, yeah.
But her statement is like, well, we're ordering a bunch of food, but can she just take the bottle of wine? Like if nobody's there, can she just leave the food and then take the bottle of wine with her? Him or her, whatever the driver is.
All or nothing, right?
All or nothing. And what they essentially said is it's all or nothing. Like you are basically signing for the entire delivery. We need to deliver. Our policy is to deliver complete. And if you're not home and we attempt delivery, then it's an all or nothing thing. Well, it just so happened by the grace of a miracle, we managed to make it there on time. But I would stress this to anybody watching, that if you decide to do an Amazon Fresh delivery and you decide to add alcohol to that delivery, like make sure 100% that you're going to be home, because if you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get the bread and the eggs and everything else. They need to deliver all or nothing.
Well, to me, that makes sense to me, but
it does, and that's what we said.
It makes sense, but was your daughter of age to sign?
No.
A minor can't sign for it.
That's the thing. You have to have an adult there. But I don't know I don't know if that's an option for me, or if it is an option, to get alcohol delivered. If it is an option,
state by state, I know it's different.
So even on
state by state, county by county,
or even county by county, yeah.
If you can get alcohol delivered, you never have to sober up to go get more.
So even on Instacart, right? So even on Instacart, like for my area, we have on my list, it's like 10 stores. So it's BJ's, it's Costco, it's Restaurant Depot, it's Shoppers, it's Giant, it's all the goddamn grocery stores around here. Yeah. But then one of the stores is a wine store that delivers, right? So I can order from Restaurant Depot over here, right? And I can order from the wine store over here on a separate delivery. It's not gonna, that driver's not gonna leave Restaurant Depot and then go to the wine store. It'd be two separate deliveries.
So that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna hop out of here. I'm gonna leave it going. If you guys want to keep going with it.
Well, look, I'm getting ready to go to bed too. It's 2:00.
I probably ought to bail myself.
I got to get
work in the morning.
Hours.
So I think Robin, maybe 5 minutes. Sign the kind of sound the 5-minute alarm. Let's wrap up the conversation. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on, Rob. Can we play 5
Can you mute
minutes?
your phone? We're getting a whole bunch of wind noise.
Oh, I'm outside. Yeah. Only reason I'm outside because Jason asked me to get on. So
I said, "Come on, Darnell. I haven't seen your face in a month. Come on, brother."
In a month. Wow. Every other night.
All right, I guess. All right, Rob. All right, I guess we're out of here.
Well, no, we got 4 minutes,
guys.
We have 4 minutes.
Hey,
I'll be the person to pull the plug.
No, Grumpus, you barely said anything. I'd like to know a little bit more about you. The first thing I recognize.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
I have 5 minutes. Believe me, I'm the.
You're not gonna figure out that much in 4 minutes, Jason. Compass will be back tomorrow.
That's fine looking there, Dash.
I will tell you a couple things. Your audio is flawless. So whatever you're doing.
It's hard to tell if it's loud or not because I got headphones
in front of him.
What's that, Dash?
He's got. Look at the microphone in front of him.
Yeah.
No,
this is
I'm
just like Ricer's.
This is meant to be a compliment, so I hope you didn't take your audio.
No, I appreciate it.
Your audio is flawless.
I'm agreeing with you. That's why it's as crisp as it is, because he's got the equipment. Look, I'm rocking. You can't really see it because
here I am on the freaking. And I would say, with your audio and with your voice, it sounds spectacular. I would say we'd love to hear more from you. Certainly.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, man.
It's genuine. It is genuine.
You know what?
My audio. I'm glad somebody noticed.
Hey, Jason, when you gonna start your channel, Jason?
I know. I need to start a channel. I actually showed the other day. People are like, "Dude, you haven't posted a video," and I actually showed my phone. I've had a YouTube account since 2006.
Me too.
So people are "Damn."
So Jason's been around in the chat, but he finally just popped up on the live streams. But
I finally popped up, right?
He sat back for a few. Then he's all in.
I'm all in, man, and I'm all in.
Talking everything.
Hey, Jason, I'll go real quick before before we get too far away. I want you to know, Grumpus has been likened to the Bob Ross. He's like the Bob Ross of barbecue. So if you watch his videos, he's just so. Everything is. We're just gonna do this today. And today we're gonna take this brisket and we're gonna. You just be like, okay. I'm telling you,
I put everybody to sleep.
Well, you relax, everyone.
You know, Grumpus.
That's why I barbecue, so I can relax.
Yeah, man.
Easy. I think it's easy for people to say one thing but mean another. But I'm genuine when I say that it's not easy to have the voice, the delivery, and the product, right? And from what Dash is saying, the Bob Ross of barbecue. And I know
He's so
you guys
smooth with it, man.
Hey, I take that as a compliment. I grew up with Bob Ross.
I know you guys
I
are
did
laughing,
too.
and I think that what I'm trying to portray is a sense of appreciation, because I think there's a lot
It's
of
hard.
wannabes. There's a lot
yeah.
of, it's
Definitely.
hard to differentiate yourself, right? And I
Yep.
think at least from what I'm trying to say is the audio is perfect. Like
Well,
it's
thank you.
absolutely, and I mean that in the most sincere way. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And
When
then-
the first time Grumpus got on one of my live streams, I'm like, dude, you got like a podcast set up. It's just, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm working on this, I'm working on that, I got this, and dude, I'm right there with you, Jason. It's
I just
flawless.
try
There
to
is
get ready
no
'cause I don't know where this thing's going to go.
And that's
No,
the
you're
thing,
good.
People say, oh, this and that and everything. It's hard for me to understand the level of appreciation that I have for what you're doing. The audio, the quality of everything is it is absolutely spectacular.
Mhm.
He's trying to say everything is pristine, Grumpus.
It is
think you like
pristine.
it.
It is.
I think
And
he
I'm
likes
just-
it. He really likes it.
No, and I mean that in the most sincere way, Grumpus. I mean, here
Well,
I
I
am.
appreciate it.
I'm on my computer. Listen, people say, what are you doing? I'm on my computer. This is my computer monitor that my company paid for. I'm on a set of headphones so I don't wake the whole house. And here you are. There's a method to what you're doing, and I think it is perfect. I really do.
Oh, thank you.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, Dash, if you remember the first time I tried to hop on one of your lives,
Yeah, you were
I couldn't
having
even get
audio
the mic to
issues.
work.
Yep. But the whole thing was we could see it. I could see it in the shot, and it's like,
You know what the problem was?
well, oh yeah, the
I did-
3D.
Yeah,
Or something
I had a virtual reality headset I bought.
Oh yeah,
and it was
Oculus.
interfering with my signal. It was taking it. So once I unplugged it, everything worked fine.
When I met Grumpus, right? Because Grumpus had been hanging out on the live streams, but I had never seen or talked to Grumpus like live. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna give everybody the a StreamYard. I'm like, whoever can come on. Grumpus gets on, and he's like, we're like, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I'm writing notes.
Yeah. So Jason, you're talking about how great his audio was. I didn't even hear it the first time. He
That was
just-
the night you and Brian and me was on.
yeah.
Did y'all just read Patriots comment?
About Instacart being way more expensive.
No.
Oh,
That one.
That's right. Well, paint
That's
a
hilarious.
sauce over here.
yes.
You know what's funny, or it's maybe not funny, is that when Keith goes live, God bless him, he's got guys that join him that there's an echo, there's an audio problem, there's a video problem, and Rob is
It just goes with it.
Rob is probably the most patient person I've ever met. He just sits there, right? But it's painful, right? It can be painful. But you've never had these problems, Rob. You've never had a person come on and it's Echo City, or the video is terrible, or the audio is terrible, well, you've had a streaker. You've had two streakers. So
But
So I can tell you, Jason, when I talked to Ricer for the first time on his live stream,
yeah,
I was using headphones and there was an echo. And it
Okay.
was like I think I was the first person on his live stream, like to go live on his live stream.
Okay.
And it was a learning experience for everyone. And he's like, hey man, I'm gonna reach out to you because you do live streams. And I know that, you can talk for an hour or so. And I'm like, all right, cool, no problem, like whatever. And we like Ricer is really good about doing tests and making sure that everything is perfect.
Ricer was perfect.
Right. Yeah. And he's
My
another
wife-
one.
My wife was even like, he's got 4K video.
Yep.
Because we're watching it on our TV. I'm like,
Yep.
All right, Ricer.
That's why I don't know if you heard me say it, but I am filming. I'm going to be filming in all 4K now. I have this. I bought a gaming laptop because I edit on my laptop.
Yeah.
I bought a gaming laptop to be able to handle editing the 4K, and I'm going to be transitioning. But anyway, look, Rob is trying to get out of here. We're like 5 minutes behind. But
look, I can ask you. Look, let me just give you a one-to-one here, one-on-one.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Fantastic.
Well,
Tonight,
thank you.
you answered every question. You came on. The energy was amazing. I
know. I hear you. No, I get it, man. And I have to be.
I learned more tonight than I did on any other previous live stream. And Rob, this was a fantastic show. This was by far my favorite show so far. Fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Dash brought
Thank you
it
for
tonight.
being a part. Oh man, I have experience doing live streams. That's all it is.
No, I mean,
with the exception of the scroll, that person.
Man,
who was that?
Oh yeah, Dash, real quick. I just want to see your reaction. Look at your Instagram real quick. Don't say it out loud who he was.
I won't.
I'm not on Instagram, but I would like to say thank you, Dash. You've answered all the questions. This has been one of the, if not the most informative live streams ever. And it's been such a pleasure.
I tell you, Jason, that's how almost all of my videos are. I try and relay some nuggets of information.
This hot seat is the first hot seat I didn't come and ask questions to the guests, but hey Dash, I caught your video this morning.
Yes, sir.
Just keep you're gonna nail it all down, man. Don't get discouraged, and
I'm not getting discouraged because you guys who are on the live streams and that comment and watch are keeping me from getting discouraged. But it's just not as easy as it used to be to do the filming, and that's what's gotten to me. And
I think I heard somebody say, "Hey, man, how come you haven't done a video?" I get that all the time. I've never done a video on here. I am 17 years on fucking YouTube, never done a video. Right?
Since this came up, Dash, I just want you'll take it at your own pace.
Yeah.
It's like I said. I told you earlier. You don't owe YouTube anything.
I know, but but
take it at your own speed, and we'll all be there.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate that. Definitely.
And that was pretty much the comment I left on that video this morning. Like, dude, take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
Your family, and the channel is always gonna be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know it's when I want more for what I'm doing versus what I'm actually able to do or what the results are. It's it can be discouraging on top of everything else. But look, I really appreciate all of you guys, Grumpus, Darnell, Rob, and Jason. It was really nice meeting you.
So nice to meet you too, Dash. Fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
and I'll just ask you one more question. Keith brought it up. You know that you've made it when you have somebody that dislikes your video.
Oh yeah. Yep. I don't.
But don't talk about me personally. If you're talking about my food, if you dislike my food, then that's my food. But if you give me a thumbs down, then you got a problem, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I don't get discouraged, and I don't harp on the dislikes and other things like that. I don't. I've been on YouTube, and I've been putting videos out on YouTube for a very long time, and I have a very thick skin. But I take offense when like people are genuinely just mean, and like I haven't screw you B. I haven't I thank goodness I have not had as many racist comments as some other folks have. and I've seen
Oh,
him,
that's
and
upsetting.
and
Very
and I'm
upsetting.
like, wow, like really. And you know, I'm glad that I haven't had to deal with that, but I have had to deal with people talking about my kids. And I'm like, listen, my kid was laying on a couch, and I'm like, yo, come be in this video and taste this. Well, guess what? He didn't brush his hair because he doesn't get, you know, pristine for the videos like I do, because I'm going to be talking to you for 15, 20 minutes versus him being in the video for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So, you know, but when people start talking about, you know, my kids, I'm like, all right, you know what? Nope, I'm not for that. You getting booted, you getting blocked, you getting deleted.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
but it takes a thick skin, and I've just like you said, you've been on YouTube since 2006. I have as well. I didn't put content on YouTube in 2006, but I mean, I have definitely been and seen a lot of come and go on YouTube. And I'm like, I'm an old school YouTuber, man. I already know that the key to winning on YouTube is content, and you know, boom, boom, boom. But I got to change the way in my thinking, because it's quality over quantity, and that's what one of the things Ricer kept preaching.
That's it.
Anyway,
Amen. Before you go, those shirts are cool. How do we get the shirts, right?
Yeah.
How do we
swag store, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I have a store on. So if you go to the video in the description, there's a Teespring link, and you can get stuff through Teespring.
Nice.
Unless you know, you look like an adult, so I don't have any adult sizes left. I use this shirt was actually one that I had printed locally. Well, that's what's up. B says, I gotta say, I've even told Dash, he's the guy that inspired me to open my restaurant. I'm biased. He said too much love. Well, I appreciate that, B. And you know, he was, you know,
I think B's killing it.
Yeah, he definitely is doing some great stuff. I just wish, like, Maryland sucks. It sucks.
That's why I live in Texas.
Man, Grumpus, trust me. So you know how Grumpus, we talk about pew pews, okay? I recently, you know, put in my request for a concealed carry, right? And the reason, one of the reasons I can get it in Maryland is because I have a business. But my business, because of the things that I don't, I'm like, why am I paying a tax just so I can register the name of my business? And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Well, now, in order for me to be able to get past this next hurdle, I got to pay $300 for 6 years that I've officially had my business. And I'm like, why do I need to pay that? I don't have any like earnings. I don't have this. I don't have that, you know, for the state of Maryland. But in order for me to get my concealed carry, I got to now pay all these back taxes, basically.
Oh, no.
This is bullshit.
So Dash, I did my LLC the other day through Maryland, Maryland.gov or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's $150, but I had it expedited. It came to $191.
So the whole thing is that's the initial thing. Once you have an LLC in Maryland, every single year you need to file a property report or whatever the hell it's called. It's $300 a year versus regardless of whether you make money or not. It's just $300.
So what I got told by somebody who has it, actually I got told by 4 or 5 different people, and they all pretty much said the same thing. Don't file your profit. Just file all the money, all your expenditures, basically.
I get that, but that's for your taxes. That's for your taxes. That's not for the state of Maryland. There's a department of, and I can tell you what the department is, but you have to pay them a fee to keep your business registered and in good standing with the state of Maryland.
Oh yeah, that's through the Department of Labor or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
So look, all right. See you tomorrow.
Easy. Yeah.
Thanks, Rob, Dash, Jason.
Thank you, Rob, Jason. Take care.
See y'all later.
Perfect. Thank you. I would like to, and this is not even my channel, but I would like to recognize.
You're invited to my channel anytime.
Thank you, Grumpus.
Yeah, mine too.
You're a class act. Thank you. My goodness.
Rob was like, shut the hell up.
I'm out of here, guys.
All right.
Good night, Grumpus.
See you, Grumpus.
Leprechaun TV.
Oh,
Leprechaun TV. So we lost. Well, this is how it goes, right? I mean, as I've said before, and I've got such a big family, you guys have no idea. It takes a second to say hi to somebody, but it takes 10 years to say goodbye, right? You know how it goes, right? Rob's been trying to say goodbye forever. Look, it's not quite 4 a.m., Rob. No, but he's got to go. Look, Lep is still on here. And Lep is like, y'all crazy. Look, Lep.
Yeah.
As soon as this live stream ends, Lep gonna start a live stream. God damn it.
Hey, I don't want to spill the beans too much, but is Hobo anywhere near this thing? Anywhere?
Be quiet, Jason.
I know.
Shut up.
I'm sure he's passed out by now.
All right.
Be quiet. Don't bring that up.
We're not talking about it. Let's talk about. Let's talk about.
Let's talk about going to bed.
Well, I just want to talk about Rob's video for a minute. Just 1 second, Rob. You're like, Butter's my friend. Well, I'm your friend too, Rob. All right. So, when you're like, Butter's my friend on the lobsters, that was a fantastic. That was a fantastic video. I know you're $80 and $20 and $30. Like, that was probably your most expensive cook ever, but it was the most entertaining cook as well.
It was really tasty. I know that.
It's not every day you eat lobster. I know that my mother-in-law is always like.
He said they cook that meal all the time, at least 3 times a week.
Oh, you do, Rob?
No, I don't.
They're starting like.
No, that was
maybe minus the lobster part.
No, we do. Yeah, no. We do.
I'm gonna find that quote. I'm not making that part up.
If I said that, I lied.
Then you lied.
we do like the clams, maybe like 2 or 3 times a year. The lobster probably 4 or 5 times a year. Yeah.
You know, we got young kids here.
He said 3 times a week though.
My wife's like, how old are Rob's kids? I said, I think he's got a 22-year-old, but I don't know beyond that how old the kids are.
Yeah.
So how old are the kids?
22, 16, 14.
So do you have 3 kids living with you or just 2?
Yep, 3.
So the 22, okay. So you're feeding a family of 5 essentially, plus the dogs and everything.
Yep.
All right.
The dogs and the cats and the chickens.
Well, I'm not. Well, he's got dogs and chickens, but I'm the first one to say that my dog's the first one that gets fed in the morning.
He has 3 dogs.
You guys are our dog owners, right? Come on. The dog is, I know Rob's getting ready to check out. We might just give you a countdown here. 5 seconds. That way there's no obligations. 4 seconds, right? It's kind of like you launch a rocket.
Jason, you got to work in the morning?
Of course I work every day. Come on, I work every day. But I'm West Coast. I'm the best coast. You guys are over here.
Jason is up. Jason is up. He's wired for sound.
Yeah.
We're out, guys.